Stop working hard. You'll never be wealthy. You can't be wealthy or you can't be rich by working hard. This is 2026. You have to change the strategies. I just want you to listen to this and ask yourself, I mean, if working hard, in Kenya we have people, we call them the beba beba. Beba beba, these are people, you'll find them in markets with carts, pulling big luggages and carrying big loads and what have you. Or people who work in the construction industry. Those are known to be one of the toughest jobs that you can ever do, where it requires the physical muscles and brain strain and all those kind of things. I mean, if working hard really rewards hard work, or rather wealth or creating wealth rewards hard work, then these people ought to be the wealthiest ever. But they are not. And sometimes I know you might sit down and think like, oh, I think the system is rigged. No, it is not. Because there is a whole different of a system that you need for you to create wealth outside working hard. Again, disclaimer, I didn't say you shouldn't be working hard. It's a factor, but it's not the ultimate factor that you need. It depends on what you're working hard on. Listen one thing, doing a lot does not mean that you're getting a lot more done. Do not confuse movement with growth. You can be moving, but there is no growth. And what happens when it comes to creation of wealth, you have to have working hard. Listen, sometimes I tell people, go watch my video, not the last week video or the other month or the other year. No, scroll down to my oldest videos for like 3, 4, 5, 6. No, not the. This is my 5th year in the YouTube. Go check like my 5th year. Back then, I used to paint. I was employed to paint, painting like these ones. Yeah, I know all this. Actually, I did all this work by myself. Painting, I used to do that, and I used to be paid $7 per day. In other words, 1,000 shilling, Kenyan shilling per day. And then you can just imagine how long will, and the same 1,000, I have to eat, I have to make sure that I dress, like it has to run a normal human being. And the same 1,000 is what you need to create wealth with it. There was one day I sat down and I was working in a house was worth 36 million. The gentleman was around that 8-ish years there. We used to be a little bit closer. I mean, we could talk, and he told me he's around 38 years. And I was shocked because, I mean, he's 38 and he's building a house worth 36 million. So I was like, we are not using the same formula here, because I sat down and I calculated, if I keep on being paid 1,000 shilling continuously, every day, assuming I work every day, and I'm not deducting anything from that 1,000 shilling, I need 1,000 days to make 1,000,000. How many years are those? I want you to calculate. I need 1,000 days, working every day, without eating, without doing nothing. Get 1,000, keep it. Then I need 1,000 days. Then 1,000 times 36, I need 36,000 days to get to a 36 million for me to build just a home. He didn't even have a home only. He had a car. He probably had another property and all those. So in other words, I'm saying working hard only cannot guarantee you to creation of wealth. What guarantees you? It is the intentionality. What is intentionality? It's being intentional of what exactly you are doing. There are two things will actually get you to wealthy: intentionality and positioning. What is intentionality? Intentionality is when you are not only working hard, but you have the intention beyond the working hard. For example, I sat down and asked myself, I am being paid 1,000 shilling. Of course, I cannot quit this job because it cannot get me to a 36 million in 3 years. I didn't quit it. I sat and asked myself, I'm getting this 1,000 shilling every day. Probably I use half of it and I'm left with 500, yeah? So how can I then use this 500 plus the brain that I have to move myself to the next level? Then I realized one thing. I have a lot of financial knowledge. I can be able to communicate. Then how can I share this information to people to position myself so they don't only see me as a painter, but they also see me as a financial analyst, somebody who can talk about money, somebody who can invest, and probably they can actually subscribe to my offer that I have. I can teach them to the multitude and make money. Then I asked myself, I zoomed into my 500. Now, how can this 500 of mine help me to position myself to that point? Because what is to position yourself? To position yourself is to simply stay in a situation whereby that you're able to see a potential, and not only see it, potential opportunity, and position yourself, or in other words, locate yourself in a position whereby you can be able to tap it. Then I realized one thing. If I can save this 500 shilling every day, and then I raise, say, 15,000, I can buy myself a phone. I can be able to make good phone. Not so good, but it was good to that particular level. Be able to make videos, post them on my social media. I may not be able to get to reach you within first month or 2 or 6 or something like that. But ultimately, I am positioning myself to a point whereby in the current day, attention is the new currency. That is exactly what I did. And that's why today, you watching this video, that's how good Joseph was born. Well, financially. I didn't mean like the biologically. Financially. That's how I positioned myself to that point. Now, the point here is, if today I meet that gentleman, we're almost speaking the same language. You get what I'm saying? And those are like 4-ish or 5-ish years down the line. It took time. Now, I'm not saying that everyone should go buy a smartphone and start making videos. What I'm trying to say is this: you are a teacher, you are seated there. What are the opportunities can you tap? You know, in every place where you are employed, there are two things. There is a professional part of it and there is a business part of it. If you are a teacher, there is the profession of teaching and there is the business of education. So you're only benefiting from the professional part of it. And when you deal with the professional part of it, guess what you're doing? You're trading 3 things: your time, your energy, and your skills. And you're being paid on that. If an entry-level teacher is paid 40,000 Kenyan shilling per year or per month, rather not per year, per month, then at the end of the day, your money to be made has already predetermined. You can't go beyond there. It has already been determined. So I always tell people, do this. If you want to know whether you're doing the right thing about your life, take the money that you earn every month. Let's say you earn 40,000 Kenyan shilling. Double this money to 80,000 Kenyan shilling. Then multiply by the... How old are you right now watching this video? You're 35. Good, fine. How many years left for you to retire? 25 years. Good, 25 years. Do this. You're being paid 40,000. Okay, fine. Double that salary to 80,000, then multiply by the remaining of the year. For example, a year is made up of 12 months. So it is 12 multiplied by 80,000 multiplied by 25. And then probably, let's say this figure, I've not calculated, but let's say this figure adds up to 20 million. So the question is, can 20 million achieve all your goals? Oh, I love to drive a TX. An average TX will go for 6.5 million. So deduct 6.5 million there. A good dream home that you usually dream of probably will cost you 8 million. We are now at 15 million, left with 5 million. You've not invested. So this is how you determine whether you're heading on the right direction. Now, let's go back to, instead of working hard, what are you supposed to do? You position yourself. For example, right now as we speak, and I'm using shares or stocks as an example. I didn't say everyone should invest on stocks. Tap that opportunity that you're seeing out there. Please. There is no one way of becoming wealthy in this life. No, we have a variety of ways how you become wealthy. It's not only one way. So, for example, right now, Kenya is regarded as a frontier market. If you check the big economies in this world, if you go to the developed world, the economies there, or the share, or the capital, or rather, we call the stock market, is regarded as a developed. If you come to South Africa and come to Brazil and other countries, they're regarded as an emerging. If you come to Kenya, it's a frontier. It's a small economy where the shares are going down. For example, if you go to like South Africa, some companies are, let's not even go to South Africa. Let's even go to some countries like America, for example. You find the share is costing like over 30,000, over 40,000 or 50,000. What does that mean? One share. In Kenya, the highest we have is around 500. We don't have any shares exceeding 500. And there we have shares that are going forever. So, but one day, this frontier market will catch up to be emerging, will go to the point whereby it becomes developed. But then how do you position yourself? It's tapping those opportunities right now before we transition from the frontier to the emerging to the developed. That's why one day, you shall be seated somewhere when you are a grandfather and I'm a grandfather and you're a grandmother. You gotta see the KCB shares trading at 25,000 per one share. 25,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 25,000. Right now is at 76 shillings. I know it sounds crazy, sounds out of touch, but one day it will. And guess what will happen? Your grandchildren will ask you, hey, mommy, daddy, why didn't you? Be like, You know, I didn't have the knowledge. You are lying. They will see this video. Okay, fine. You are making that 1,000 shilling every day. You're earning a salary of 40,000. So how about yourself? You take time to learn about investment. Learn about your money. Out of the 40,000, probably you can manage to save only 10,000. Then ask yourself, how do I create my financial freedom with this 10,000? You take this 10,000 and invest it. I can tell you it's very boring. Even the first year, you won't get anything. The second year, the fourth year, you won't get anything. But ultimately, you will be able to see the changes. I remember one day, I sat down with the guys whom we were working, we were painting. I sat them down and I told them, we all look the same. Probably we all have the similar savings. But if one of us decides to do things differently, if they decide to invest either into the normal investments or invest in themselves, for me, I invested in myself first. Then now I'm investing into other external things. For the first 1 year, we won't see any change. We will still be playing the same games, talking the same language, hanging around the same. You won't see any difference. Second year, you might actually see some elements of changing. Third year might actually start. Fourth year, you are not on the same category. Right now, as we speak, those friends of mine are still painting. They are still painting. I am not. I'm not saying I'm smart. Sure, I do attribute my achievement to the glory of God, but it had to be intentional. They're still painting. Why? They didn't see the. I remember they were even criticizing me when I started making these videos. Why are you making those videos? Is there anybody paying you? So I had to lie to them. Yes, I'm being paid. So that at least they can see the sense of what I'm doing. You get what I'm saying? So please, stop working hard only. Stop being hopeful. Hope is not a strategy. You can't hope to be wealthy. You have to be very intentional. Can you imagine this? Getting somebody somewhere seated down, not practicing, out of weight proportions, and then he tells you or she tells you, I want to participate in the next marathon and I'm going to win. Would you believe that guy? No. But what if you meet somebody running on the tracks, sweating, you have witnessed him doing 10 laps, and he tells you that I want to participate in the next marathon and I want to win and I will win. Even if that guy, you'll never follow up what exactly will happen, you have higher chances of believing him because you have seen him doing the thing. Now, I see people going to churches, and I'm not saying going to church is bad, going to church, believing, there is nothing wrong with believing, hoping, again, there is nothing wrong with hoping, to be wealthy. You can't. There are principles that needs to be applied for you to be wealthy. You have to be a saver, you have to be an investor, you have to be a risk taker. You have to do that. Then once you do that, what is humanly possible, then you turn to God to help. For example, I usually attribute this to a farmer. When a farmer, a time comes to prepare the land, you prepare the land. That is a human action. You don't expect God to come and prepare for you. You can't hope, oh God, I need a miracle. I need to wake up morning and find that land tilled and prepare. You can't get that. That's a human action. That's why God didn't even give us these chairs and these tables. He hid these tables in the trees. You had to think, how can you get a table from a tree? You get what I'm saying? So now, what happens is that a farmer goes, tills the land, prepares the land, and waits for the rain. Now, when the rains comes, the farmer takes the seed and go plants the seed and come back home. How they germinate, farmer doesn't know. Now, that's a part of God. So you become intentional, you invest, you prepare yourself, invest in yourself, invest in externally. And then from there, progressively, you become intentional and work towards that. Can you imagine if I was just seated somewhere, 5 years down the line, telling you, I would like one day to be one of the greatest YouTubers in Kenya. What? Would you believe me? Now you won't. What if right now I tell you, I want to be the biggest and the greatest YouTuber in Kenya talking about finances? Would you believe me? Oh yes, Joseph, I do. You're heading to 1 million subscribers. Indeed. Because it is intentional. You can see it, me doing it. So you have to be intentional. You can't be hopeful. Hope is a good breakfast, but it's a poor dinner. You don't start with hope and end with it. Start with hope, but don't end with something else. End with intentions. So that is what I'm saying. in 2026, stop working hard. Only. I didn't say now start being lazy. No, stop working hard only. It can't create. Number two, jobs will never create you wealth. No, nobody employs you to be wealthy. You forever carry those placards. Haki yetu. Oh, adhere to the CBA, collective bargaining agreement. Sign this so that you add us this 3,000 at the end of the month. Please, nobody is in the business of making you wealthy. Nobody. Nobody. It has to be you. Hope you've gotten that message. And I hope you're going to do something about that. This is Good Joseph. If you've liked that video, go ahead and subscribe so that you'd never miss again whenever I upload a new good video. And by the way, don't forget to leave a comment on the comment section. See you in the next one.